Good morning, soul rebels. I have some very important news to share with you. I've got some news to share with you. Are you ready to hear what's true? I've got some news to share with you. Are you ready to know what's true? You're a child of the infinite. You are a child of the infinite. And you're a soul baby living forevermore. And you're a soul baby living forevermore. That's Brooke Susan right there. Soul baby living forevermore. I heard about your adventures with Jim and Lisa. I'm so happy to hear all about that, Brooke. Great to have you on the line, on the love line, straight to the divine. And the good news is all is Vasudeva. All is spirit. That's our verse. The highest, wisest sage. This is the sage part two, all about the sage. And that is one who can say, all is Vasudeva. Who is Vasudeva? The Lord, the supreme creator, God, source, spirit, truth. All is Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. So, Om Namo, I bow. Bhagavate, to the great Lord, Vasudeva, to the Supreme Lord. Should we just sing that again? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Then I like to say, success and joy, 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 success and joy. My Father and I are one. We can celebrate today. We can dance, we can sing, we can skip, we can be happy, we can be content, we can be fulfilled, we can be loving, we could be just so peaceful today because we and our Father, we and the Creator, we and Vasudev, oh sage, the Ryan sage, Brooke Susan sage, Jim and Lisa Clark sage, are one with all that is. Isn't that just the best news? We've heard some news. I swear it's true. I want to share it with you. All is Vasudeva. All right. This is verse 19, chapter 7, book 2, God talks to Arjuna. Commentary, Paramahansa Yogananda. In disguise as Krishna. And so the verse reads this: after many incarnations, the sage attains me, realizing the Lord is all pervading. The sage attains me after many, many incarnations. The sage attains me, realizing the Lord is all pervading. The Lord is all pervading. All is Vasudeva. A man or woman so illumined, however, is hard to find. It's hard to find. I mean, we still don't know who we are, you know what I'm saying? And we can go this whole day completely fooled and not feeling the intensity and the absolute top priority of making sure we contact who we are 100%. 100% pure spirit we are. A man or a woman so illumined is hard to find. Let's see what Yogananda has to say. A rare devotee is he or she who discerns only the omnipresent beam of spirit. The rare devotee is the one who discerns only the omnipresent beam of spirit. And another way to say this is the divine lover of the universe. You could say omnipresent beam. That's awesome. Same thing. Same thing. But I like to think of it the divine lover of the universe. I read in the early years of being a monk this classic series. It's much like He and I. I mean, that's what the series was called, He and I. It's much like Jesus calling, in the sense a woman who was in a rapport with Christ. And I remember that he said to her one day, he said, "Beloved, let's begin heaven, just you and I. As you love me, I'll love you too. We'll be loving all the time." All right? Oh, lover, let's begin heaven. Divine lover, Krishna, God, Creator, Vasudeva is saying to us, "Oh, lover, let's begin heaven, just you and I. As you love me, I'll love you too. We're loving all the time." Good message, isn't it? Let's begin heaven. Every single breath, let's begin heaven. It's like the second coming of Christ. When is the second coming of Christ? This breath right now, as we live to the fullest, brand new, clean slate, right? Inhalation, reborn. Exhalation, we die to all that isn't true. We die to the dream. We die to the delusion. We die to our desires. We die to the monkey mind. We die to the worries and the fear and the guilts and the shames, right? Every time, on a single breath. That kind of person that is on the breath, what was COVID all about? Some of them couldn't breathe, right? They had pneumonia. So they had to be on the breathing machine, man. We have to be on the breathing machine that reminds us that we are loving machines. All right. And that the only thing that will save us here is to be in that conscious state of loving. That rare soul who says all is love, all is the divine lover, all is a divine creator, all is Vasudeva. All right. Rare though is that devotee who discerns only the omnipresent beam of spirit that creates the many dreams of births and deaths, including his own or her own. Such a person, concentrating on the cosmic beam alone or the divine lover alone, same thing, becomes liberated. When there's just the breath, love in, love out, love in, love out, love in, love out. All there is love. It's the only reality. What if you just focused on the only reality? What would your consciousness be like? Are you getting a little kind of an insight into what that could be like? What if that you didn't have to think about all the things you think about, to take up the minutes? Very important minutes. We're going to get to that in a second, how important the minutes are and the heartbeats are. Remember that love dump? It's coming right up. We learned about it last week. All right. Well, why wouldn't you give yourself that opportunity today to just be in love, in peace, in joy, just in your true self nature, with the one that self nature that is one with the beloved, the one beloved, the one supreme force, the same thing, right? Such a person concentrating on the cosmic beam alone, with the divine loving, divine lover alone, becomes liberated from the witnessing of the many dreams of birth and death forced upon mortals, forced upon us. Mortals who are infested with lust. Mortals who are infested. Well, why is it so difficult to get along with yourself? Because we're infested. Why is it so hard to get along with others? Because we think they're infested. Why do we think the world is just really going through hell and high in a basket right now? Is because we think it's going to hell. Infested with these creeps, and ourselves included in that, right? and people who don't know who they are, and everybody is lost, and everyone is freaking out. Wouldn't you if you were lost? If you were in the dark, couldn't see, you'd be freaking out. Well, that's what's happening. Just an analogy. You'll be liberated, though, from having to witness the many births and the dreams of births and deaths forced upon us who are infested with lust and pursued by the karma because we continue to grow the lustful appetites, mortal appetites, desires, you know, human thinking, ego, ego mind, self selfish desires rather than selfless desires. Because then we're going to be pursued by karma, man, right? It's going to come boomeranging right back at us. Sometimes instantly, sometimes when you least expect it, something, and all the variations that are in between. So, all right, we can quicken our evolution by living many lives materially. Yogananda goes on to say, in daily visions. This is incredible. In daily visions, that we can escape some of the karma that we accrued, some of the samskaras that we still have, tendencies, proclivities, habits that we still have. The lustful infestation has taken us all over. It's called the Maya. Do not take it personally. Oh, no worries, Vinny, you got on. That's important because I took off this thing about that you have to. I have to admit you now. So everybody seems to have gotten on. We got to get chin fitting because that was happening to her. Vinny, we're on page 691, book 2, at the bottom. Moving right along, brother. Just pick up the vibes, pick up the love vibes. That's all there is. And because you're going to be a wisdom expert today. We're going to talk about being wisdom experts. All right. So you just dial right in. Harmonize your thoughts and desires with the all-fulfilling realities. Great quote from Yogananda. Harmonize your thoughts and desires with the all-fulfilling realities that you already possess in your soul, that you already possess. And you will see the underlying harmony in your life and in all nature. And you will see the underlying harmony in your life and in all nature. I love this line from Yogananda. And you will float through life on buoyant wings of peace. You will float through life on buoyant wings of peace, and you will float through life on buoyant wings of peace. And you will float through life on buoyant wings of peace, and you will float through life on buoyant wings of peace. Sure, watch, for you know not which hour your Lord doth come. How about this breath? He comes with every breath, with every love dub of a heartbeat. He comes. He's in that beat. He is the beat. He is 100% you and me. Why couldn't we just hold that and not let anything else be our consciousness today and see how a day can go? See what it's like to live as an immortal, live in this world, but not of it at all, right? Not even a second, letting your mind off of deliciousness of that love affair with the beloved, or the beauty of the cosmic being, right? Or just the intimacy that we are so loved. What is that? Fathomless love and affection were the words, yeah, fathomless love and affection. There they are, right at the top of page 691 that we read last week, of the beloved's love for us. Fathomless love and affection. Ooh, you want to turn the other way on that? You have something better to think about? You, you the doer, you the one that needs to do it too, right? And you're a little worried about that, about an outcome. Don't know if you can, you know what I mean? But if you, as long as you think it's you that's doing it, you're going to be worrying about an outcome. But if we know that all is Vasudeva, all is pervading, the Lord is all pervading, right? What do we have to worry about? We can be drunk in ecstasy. We can be drunk in bliss today, which is totally, totally 100% our soul nature. That's the good news. So we can quicken our evolution by living many lives materialized in daily visions. What does this all mean? You're going to find out right here and now. A person who emotionally identifies herself or himself with the daily dream, the motion pictures of this life, does not find liberation because she or he becomes entangled in the web of birth and death. You know, we don't even consider the web. I know our lives are entangled. I know they're knots. They're Gordian knots in some cases, you know, just incredible knots. No energy flowing. Everything's shut down. The system isn't working properly. It's out of tune. We're not in harmony. We're not harmonizing our humanness with the all-fulfilling realities we all already possess. So we're out of tune. We're out of tune. We're all squeaking, really, screechy notes. Discordant notes, although discordant notes can really work in a symphony, right? When you got it all going on. You need it all. And this is why this is an all kind of complete, the emergence of your humans with the divine self, with top priority on focusing on that divine true nature and being forgiving and loving, all compassionate to that part of you which is needing to grow up. Once you grow up, you're an immortal soul. Get over it. Being human. We won't find liberation if we become entangled in the web of birth and death. He does not realize that in an average lifespan of 60 years, let's just focus on 60 years, my dear soul friends, for a second. A man is born or we reawaken in 60 years 21,900 times. 21,900 opportunities. And dies or enters the sleep or little death 21,900 times in a life of 60 years. Yogananda did some math, all right? I trust his math. It could be on or off, just in whatever, you know? It's the thought that counts. It's the principle that counts. And those are a lot of opportunities to be reborn on an inhale breath, my dears, and die to the littleness of what is, you know, dictating to you and what has been a tyrant to you. You know, the monkey mind, the manas mind, the blind mind, the ego mind. It's all right to die to that 21,900 times if we're in a lifespan of 60 years. Certain yoga treatises explain that with every inhalation, a person, no, with every exhalation, excuse me, with every exhalation, a person dies. Thank goodness that you can let go of what you were just thinking about with that exhale and begin again with the inhale, with a new start. Oh, that was a rotten thought. If I could even admit that, and that doesn't feel right in my heart. You think that does not feel right in my heart, right? So I'm just going to let it go on the exhale and have a little mini death and go back to my spirit nature, which is one with the infinite right now. It's just God playing inside me. He's playing the role of this personality and this guy or this woman, whatever, that has a story going on, right? And he's going along with it. But now we got to go along with the Lord more than the Lord's going along with us, right? We got to make that shift. It's up to us. The ball's in our court. The soul's in our is in our body. It's a divine indweller in us. God is us right here, right now. So it is up to us to begin a little more, you know, aggressive in this relationship. Get a little more like, Lord, I'm not going away. I may run, you may hide. That's okay. I'm here to stay. Right? That kind of tenacity. Certain yoga treatises explain that with every exhalation, a person dies, with every inhalation is reborn. Thank God. So here's an average that man and woman breathe 18 times a minute. 18 times. Every minute we have 18 opportunities to be reborn. To just take an inhale breath, receive all the pure spirit, all the pure soul qualities, all the love, all the light, the fathomless love and affection of God's all-pervading loving presence with you right now. We got 18 opportunities like that in any given moment. What do you think the importance of being present in this moment is? 18 ways to completely refill the tank if it's gone low or empty, or it doesn't have anything in it, or we've just got a total eclipse of the soul for a circumstance we bought into, or just got off on a tangent. That we can have 18 almost rest stops, love stops, where the world stops. We renew, get reborn on that inhale, and completely let go with gratitude and appreciation for any kind of nonsense. It makes so much sense to drop the nonsense so you can see super clearly. It makes so much sense to drop the nonsense so we can see super clearly. Oh, clarity of mind and clarity of heart and clarity for our soul. Clarity of mind and clarity of heart, clarity for our soul. 'Cause I love to see you. I love you. I love to see you, Vasudeva, with crystal clarity. So it makes so much sense to drop the nonsense on every one of those 18 opportunities in any given moment where you just die to who you truly, truly are, or you just harmonize to the all-fulfilling realities that each of us possess inside of us and all around us. Wow. Wow. Some yogis say that with every, here's the lub, L-U-B, in quotes. Some yogis say that with the lub sound of the heart. We mentioned this last week, but here it is from the horse's mouth. That with every lub sound of the heart, there is a birth. So with every heartbeat, same opportunity, where you're going to have 70 times in a minute with the heartbeat. There is a birth, and with every dub, so love dub, love dub, love dub, the heartbeat, love dub. Do you know that your heart's beating right now, kids? Is that kind of a wow, or is it just wait, you got to read a text? You got to let your mind go thinking about some material detail, some human detail, some dream, delusive experience detail. That's more important than to know that every beat of your heart is a brand new word, and our endless love lyric to God was our song we sang last week, right? Words from Yogananda's poem. Every beat of my heart be a new word, my endless love lyric to thee. Love dub, love dub. Tune in, use your intuition. Love dub, love dub. Or take a big breath. You got 18 opportunities there. You got 70 here, and this is where Yogananda talks about the 70. According to that theory, a man lives and dies perhaps 70 times a minute. With the love dub theory, that we are born and die with every love dub. We're born and die with every inhale and exhale. We're born and we die with every incarnation. According to that theory, a man lives and dies perhaps 70 times a minute, according to the normal beat per minute of his heart. In a lifetime, a person would have many more experiences of heartbeat bursts and deaths than those involved in inhalations and exhales or exhalations. Wow. Come down to the breath, comes down to this moment, comes down to this will to love. Come back, little Susie. Come back, Lassie. Come back home, Lassie. Come back. I'm here. I'm all love. I'm this fathomless love and affection for you. Come here. Rest, little girl. Rest, little boy. Rest, little soul. My soul, baby. Come on. I'll just hold you for a while until everything is like super okay. Because what is one of the definitions of the word fear in AA? FEAR, forgetting everything's all right. Come back home, little soul or little mind. Come back, little troubled heart. Come back, little lost soul. Come back into that soul. Come back into my arms, right? On a love dub. Amazing. God force energy pumping our hearts. Love dub. Love dub. Isn't that awesome? Beautifully put, Narayan-ji. Yeah, each breath a new beginning. Isn't that great? And hey, and every exhale, Lisa, is a chance to forget the nonsense that we were thinking, or we were perceiving, or worried about, or anxious about. Right? Yeah. What a swing that is, to give up a worry, a fear, and something's making us anxious for a restart, a clean slate, and we know it's clean, and we begin new, just knowing that in this inhale breath is the most important, absolute top priority of my existence right here, right now. Everything else can be wiped out. This is kind of what's going to be how we're going to get into these visions that can wipe out lifetimes of residual or still lurking samskara or karma, which has you doing stuff you just don't want to do, but haven't really gotten down to, you know, just, well, we should have a process in that. We all just got to keep doing, keep on keeping on, not make a big deal. So what? Big deal. Oh, well, right? The hell with it. It was some advice we got from Krishna and Yogananda a few streams ago. We just be ourself, trust ourself, surrender, merge into our capital beautiful S self, our soul self. Medical science claims that a normal person's brain, here's another way to look at it, is substantially changed every 8 years. Yogananda is using some medical science. That a normal person's brain is substantially changed every 8 years. According to that theory, a man or woman is reborn 8 times in a lifetime of 64 years, right? 8 times. He's reborn 8 times in a lifetime of 64 years. Well, I happen to be 72, so I'm on an 8-year, so I'm reborn in this year. But you know what? You can guarantee that being born in an 8-year, don't wait for that. Get busy with the 18 minutes and the 72 love dubs, heartbeats, and see if you can break your own record today and how much you are putting in that full, dedicated, loving attention right here and now with your divine lover or that cosmic beam or whatever way you want to look at the only reality, the one who loves you the most. However way you want to look at that, however you want to experience it, completely up to you. It's your show. It's your life. You have divine powers that are here to assist you with this, my dears. Use them. Ask and watch, for you know not which hour your Lord doth come. So we have a second coming in this you have this breath, then the second coming in the next breath, the third coming in the next breath. You have 18 comings. The return of Christ consciousness in every minute, 60 seconds. We could do a new 60 seconds around this kind of stuff, right? You have 18 opportunities to be completely in a higher state of consciousness and to let go of worries and fears and traumas. Talk about PTSD when we just hang on to these the residual effects of the karma that comes from being infested with lust, and we don't even know it. We don't even know we're lustful. We won't even admit we're lustful. We don't even go there. It's just the way it is. Don't have time for it, right? I guess we just don't have much time for love these days. According to that theory, a man is reborn 8 times in a lifetime, 64 years. So I'm on an 8-year right now, 72. Some sages say that evil man or woman who die without the desire for liberation. So you die just worried about whatever it was that you were worried about before your last breath, right? That evil men who die without the desire for liberation may experience bodily births and deaths during many million-year cycles. Puts PTSD in a new perspective. An old Dr. Venny here, with all the patients he sees, he's just not seeing a patient that has been subjected to whatever it is that has caused symptoms, mindsets, inharmonies in their bodies or whatever from this life, millions of lives. So you got to be some kind of soul doctor to understand the big picture here, and know that soul is the only thing to keep in your consciousness while you're patiently loving dealing with this, infested person. Not because of him or her soul is spotless, faultless, beautiful, transcendent. It's just like, again, we're in this dream motion picture that is, as Yogananda said, this world is so, the delusion is so strong that even God shudders at the very thought of it. Wow, Vinny, you always love you on the line, man. I love you for just who you are, love itself, but also this is an interesting thought, that in Chinese medicine, men are in cycles of 8 and women in cycles of 7. Wow. Fascinating. Amazing. God force energy pumping our hearts. Love dub, love dub. That was in Ryan's. I just looked up and saw it on the stream. Good to have you guys chatting. Good to see that nobody got locked out of the of the holy temple today, of our God consciousness. Beautiful, hidden, invisible, intangible, omnipresent temple. All right. So, but can you imagine though, if you don't have liberation, don't have God in your heart when it's time to go on and you're still caught in the dark, that you'll go on for experience bodily births and deaths during many million-year cycles. You talk about PTSD on steroids. You wonder why everyone's a little anxious these days. No wonder the world is going mad and crazy, right? We're out of tune. For many of us. And there's that rare devotee who is totally in tune. All, the Lord is all pervading. All is Vasudeva. All is this cosmic being. All is this divine lover's love and loving and presence. All is that. However, Larry Mahashai, Sri Teshwar, and their advanced disciples have testified from their own realization that people with past good karma Woo, we got some past good karma. Vinny, Narayanji, Brooke, Lisa, Jim. Boy, do we have some good karma. To quicken our evolution by Kriya Yoga practice and find liberation in 3 or 6, 12, 24, or 48 years. Or 72, or whatever your age is. In one lifetime, a liberation that ordinarily comes to a righteous person without conscious effort only in a million years of births and deaths by natural evolution. Those are like a million pristine years of being in tune, being in harmony with with what is the righteous path. And Yogananda says a righteous person is this sense is one who lives in harmony with his and her soul, who lives in harmony. That's such an important word. And that quote from Yogananda about harmonizing your thoughts and desires with the all-fulfilling realities that you already possess in your soul. Then you'll see the underlying harmony in all life and in nature. And you'll float through life on buoyant wings of peace. That's our day today, everybody. For showing up, God had a little treat. You're gonna be floating in peace today, on wings of peace today. You're gonna have to try really hard to be worried about something. So you're not even gonna try, right? Where usually we're just worried and we don't even know we're just been worrying for the last 50 lifetimes or so. The righteous person in this sense is one who lives in harmony with her and his soul and offends not the laws of nature. By bullock cart and boat and by circuitous way, it would take many years for a man or woman to go around the earth, but by the fastest airplane and the shortest route, a person may traverse the earth in a few days and possibly in a few hours. The time will come when this distance will be covered in matters of minutes, and that's why a breath and a lub-dub heartbeat, you can transverse whatever is the drama and the trauma and the PTSD experience you might be going through right here today. You can get right to the heart of it in a heartbeat. In one inhale breath and one exhale. The life force, the love force, the presence, the one who loves you the most, fathomlessly and affectionately, can be right here on this inhale, and you can let it all go through God's grace on the exhale. Or 1 love dub, 2 love dubs, 3 love dubs, and it's just new word, Lord, my new word in my endless love lyric to you. We can transverse what seems to be millions of lives out of tune, or a whole day out of tune, or this life out of tune. It can all come to this right now, a celebration, a glorious resurrection, let's say, a gift of our soul to us, the little thinking, kind of separate, feeling self-important person. But you are a VIP for sure. Very important presence. VIP, very important presence. The time will come when this distance will be covered in a matter of minutes, and getting back in harmony, in tune, is going to come back, is going to happen in a heartbeat and one inhale and exhale breath. Certainly you're going to manage it in a minute, because you have 18 opportunities with the breath, inhale and exhale, to pull it back in, to return to your center, and you got 70 heartbeats to love dub. To love dub. To love dub. Similarly, the individual who makes no conscious effort may take countless lives to become liberated, but a wise person, through her knowledge of quickening evolution by Kriya Yoga, may find emancipation in one life. A wise woman and a wise man. Emancipation in one life. Now, If you're going to do that, you have to become, and these are the next three words, if you want to know, the bottom, the very bottom of page 692, a wisdom expert. A wisdom expert, Vinny, an accomplished Kriya yogi, may banish the karma. Listen to this line if you really want to know a kicker, a kickstarter to a whole new dimension. A wisdom expert, an accomplished Kriya yoga, may banish the karma of his or her past unfinished actions. You know how big this is. What we're going about to say. It's our unfinished actions that have us feel so rotten every day. It's our unfinished, unresolved, things that are pulling us way the opposite way that we want to go. More out into the muck, more out into the entanglements, more out into just that people are, going crazy. It's a crazy leading the crazy. And this isn't God crazy. This is blind crazy. This is delusion crazy. But we want to follow Yogananda's God craziness, don't we? And Krishna's God craziness and Divine Mothers and the Truth's God craziness. Yeah, that's a good crazy. So we're going to banish the karma by being a wisdom expert of our past unfinished actions by living many births and deaths enacted in daily visions. By living many births and deaths today, Vinny. Enacted in daily visions during samadhi. In this way, within 3 years, we may work out all our past desires of many, many lives by materializing them in visions through the power of samadhi. Yogananda said, why? I never forgot this line. Why do you need to go through countless human experiences over countless lifetimes to realize that nothing in this world can make you happy? Come on, wisdom experts. A wisdom expert would lock that one in. Why do we have to have this human desire to have another human experience, whatever it may be, as long as it takes us out from this 100% top priority, first love loyalty to this breath or this love dove heartbeat, this moment only, to be consumed by our soul nature, so we can be floating through life on buoyant wings of peace as a standard, as a new divine standard, or not a new divine standard, that's anciently ever new, right? But as a new to our kind of eclipse consciousness, new to kind of a down energy, new to a rather doubting Thomas kind of mindset, right? That we can just go right to the heart of the matter, right to the love dove heart of the matter, right to this present moment of 18 opportunities in this present moment, 60 seconds of the 18 breaths. And so we start visioning more and more of the truth, more and more that we have the capacity just through our consciousness, through the love. It's the love energy. When you have it, it transcends your own mind thinking. It transcends the way you think about anything. And it just gives you this innate ability, this divine gifted ability of your soul to be completely content in the truth of yourself and God's presence with you always, and your presence with God always, that you can be absolutely 100% out of your mind and totally happy and content in these beautiful visions that you're going to hold for yourself, to wipe out whatever it is that you still think you need to do, any experiences you need to have to realize that they didn't do it, that they're not going to do it, that they're going to put you right back to kind of scratching your face and going, well, I don't feel so great, right? That wasn't it. We don't have to do that anymore. Because what is it? This luscious inhale, this being reborn in this moment. and this beautiful dying to anything that is even close to be having your mind think about anything else other than this love affair and this love union and this reunion with spirit, right? And the good news, I've got some news to share with you. Are you ready to hear what's true? You're a child of the infinite. A sage understands that a human incarnation is a motion picture of many dreams. Such an illumined devotee does not have to go through many mortal births and deaths because he realizes that this whole life of ours has just been a complete motion picture of dreams that we concoct and believe in, that we think about, we think is real, we think the unreal is real. Such an illumined devotee that realizes that that's the sage understands that that's a human incarnation is just that. So that illumined sage does not have to go through many mortal births and deaths. On the superconscious level, she can condense the requisite karmic experiences of many lives, the requisite. Remember, if we don't de-infest, we don't get a good uh, pest control over this infestation of the darkness, of the lies, of the dream hypnosis that we are in. Remember those verses, cosmic hypnosis. We can not worry now. When all that stuff pops up, we can condense the requisite of those experiences, the requisite karmic experiences. That means they're coming. We can condense those of many lives into the dreams of this present. How? By being present. By being present with all your heart, mind, strength, and soul in any given lub dub, in any given inhale and exhale. Just be present to that. Just be present to that, and then move on to the next present moment. Because we're going to consolidate all those past memories on all those possible things that are still lurking, that if I'm not careful, I still may go, I may take a detour. I might make a wrong turn coming up here, right? We can bring them all into just what's happening in this moment with our dreams that we're dreaming today. We bring it all and we just celebrate in this higher vibe, which is exterminating, the great terminator, the own vibration, terminating all that sadness right here, right now, taking care of it. So we're only in the dreams of the present. No more lurking anything for the past, from the past. No more lurking anything for the future. Just now, just here. 18 glorious opportunities in the breathing and 70 in the love dub heartbeats. Woo! Shams, scams, and holograms. That's a good one. Pretty, well, Clarks are on it, man. Shams, scams, and holograms. Welcome to planet Earth. That'd be a great title, right? Shams, scams, and holograms. Welcome to planet Earth. Good one. That's fantastic. All right. An advanced yogi living in the bleak Himalayas need not go to the city nor be reborn in a new body in order to work out some lingering desire. So, okay, you made this beautiful, got inspired, renounced the world, went to the Himalayan mountains, and you're meditating, and all of a sudden you got some lingering desire starting to pop up. If he has this Himalayan yogi living in the bleak Himalayas if he is hankering for curries, for example, he can create a technicolored, true to all senses motion picture of tasty curries in consciousness. He can create a technicolored, true to all the senses motion picture of tasty curries and enjoy them in this novel way until by wisdom, his karmic desires for food are dissipated forever. Wisdom. I'm a spirit, you go back to your wisdom chest. all your expertise as a wisdom, take up the highest truths that you know, and you start to really breathe them and just live them and not let the thing, oh God, I'm so hungry and I just gotta have that curry thing. I gotta taste it now, right? I gotta leave my meditation. I gotta leave the Himalayas. I gotta find a little cafe down below, right? You start using all that wisdom ammo, man. Every time you have a wisdom thought and you put your whole consciousness, you get stronger in that wisdom power to be able to dissipate some little lurking temptation that you might have going on. So on the grand scale, so they wrote in italic here, right in the almost in the column of this page 693, fulfillment of reincarnation making desires through superconscious vision. Fulfillment. Fulfillment, kids. Contentment's another word of reincarnation making desires through superconscious visions. Wow. That means your consciousness holds all the power, all the clout. How does consciousness really become consciousness and not just intellect and what you think you know and all that really lower vibe stuff, the shams, the scams, and the holograms, right? Is by making your heart absolute top priority to renew, to recharge, to relax into just this devotional, love saturated devotion, right? I'm taking you out of, you ought to know now that I'm taking you on a trip with me. Cause baby, I'm on LSD. I'm taking you on a trip with me. Cause baby, I'm on LSD. Love saturated devotion. It's the very best high. Love saturated devotion. It's the very best high. It alters your state of mind and puts you right in line. It alters your state of mind and puts you right in line and aligns your heart with the divine and aligns your mind, oh baby, with the divine and aligns your heart, oh baby, with the divine. Let's get high on love. Let's get high on LSD. Let's get high on love. Let's get high on LSD. Love saturated devotion. It's the very best high. Love saturated devotion. It's the very best high. Let's get high on love. Let's get high on LSD. Let's get high on love. Let's get high on LSD. Love saturated devotion. Love saturated devotion. Love saturated devotion. Love saturated devotion. We had to put a whole song in there, right? Because that's what if we're not focused on that, we're going to be pretty infested. And the worst part of that, as this little quote from Jesus, I haven't really gone to the Jesus calling, but this one is just a part of, I think it was today's reading actually. Oh yeah. Though the Holy Spirit is infinite, he deigns to be your helper. He is always ready to offer assistance. All you need to do is ask. When the path before you looks easy and straightforward, you may be tempted to go it alone instead of relying on me. Now, this next sentence is a big one, kids. When the path looks easy and straightforward, that's what we worry so much for. So it becomes easy and straightforward. So we get clarity, right? Well, we can't force that to happen. We can only lift our vibes for that to happen. We can only be in that union with the divine, that real, sincerest, my first love kind of consciousness, right? With all my heart, mind, strength, and soul. So that path before you looks easy and straightforward. You may be tempted to go it alone instead of relying on me. Here it is, everybody. This is when you are in the greatest danger of stumbling. When you have, a little appeasement, when you have a little ego appeasement making you feel like, oh, this is good now. I can rest for a few hours. I can rest for today, maybe not worrying about the outcome of something. I think it's going to go a certain way now, you know. But that you don't want to create that kind of consciousness that it's all going to go easy and everything for you, because that could be the greatest danger of stumbling, because you're not going to need desperate desperately seeking the divine, need urgency to stay on your A game, to stay constantly aware of these 18 opportunities, because you got to have a bullseye in those 18 breaths that you take in any given moment, so we can reboot this whole thing and be in harmony. Oh, sage, ask my spirit to help you as you go each step of the way. Never neglect this glorious source of strength within you. Never neglect the help that is within you, right? Watch, for you know not which hour, which heartbeat, which breath your Lord doth come. Watch, be aware. Never neglect this glorious source of the divine indweller strength within you. Always ask help, his or her ever loving presence. On a grand scale, Mahavatar Babaji created a golden palace to fulfill a long forgotten desire of Larry Mahashai, an event I have recorded in the autobiography of a yogi. All right, we're gonna maybe pause it here, and I'll just give you one little story of Saint Francis in closing, because I just looked up. I just really felt the need that we explore deeply the consciousness that's with us this morning here in the Gita and Master's presence and Krishna's presence, of course, in your own soul's presence and Father, Mother presence, right? It's pretty good news. It's the good news. All is Vasudeva, all is spirit joy. Yeah, I love to hear that, Vinny. Time flies on the Gita stream. It flies for me, man. It's just unbelievable. So we're gonna talk about the Mahababaji's when he created a golden palace for Larry Mahashai. Along these lines, still doing the visions. Talk about a vision that's become a concrete kind of real deal. But just hold for our little bit of a recap for this verse, just this little story of Saint Francis, where he was totally dedicated. He already had found the Saint Damiano. He was building that church for God and this and that. And he's walking along in a snowstorm by himself, and he just had a lingering, it wasn't just for curries. He had a lingering desire for a family. Imagine, we're gonna all get those desires that pop up. So he had a brilliant idea. He did exactly this transformative practice of taking his consciousness to deal with this desire to have a family and to deal with it head on, heart on, soul on, with God's help. So he built in the snow a snowman. That was him. A little smaller one, the wife, that was his wife, Snow Woman. Then he had built different ages of the children, maybe 3 or 4, little snow children, smaller, going down to maybe a little baby snowman or snow little baby. And he had them all built. And he just said, Lord, here's my family. And he played with the family. He played with the kids. He hugged the wife, Snow Woman, his wife, and the Snow Woman. And he did everything he could to live through the experience with the consciousness that he knew that his top priority was to never leave God, never neglect this eternal source that is within him. That this lifetime, as I used to say in the ashram, if some lingering thing came up, I'll go, oh, I'll deal with that next lifetime. And I come right back to my practice or just do anything to get my mind off of whatever that was, right? So he had that experience, and you're going to hear about Yogananda's experience too, that he had about wanting to build hospitals around the world. You're going to see that it just came to fruition within him when he did this kind of visualization, and then it was no more a desire for him. So just play with the idea of some lingering whatever this thing is pulling at your strings today, getting you off kilter, kids, off that beautiful harmony of just merging with your soul qualities, right? That you just think in terms of really coming into a highest consciousness and seeing you can zap those desires. You don't need to go through them. Countless experiences, more human experience to realize nothing can make you happy. Go for the juice of what really makes you happy. And I do believe it's the consciousness of being in the loving presence. Okay? All is Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo. All is spirit. All is light. All is love. All is well. We are out of time. We are nature being in spirit. We are nature being in spirit. Have a wonderful and blessed week to you all too. Love you. See you in the great divine love together. And so it is. Namaste.